Hi guys, so I'm not sure how many of you are mummies, but I am. And right now my kids are outside, but I'm like a huge seize the moment person. I have like 10, maybe 5 minutes to try to make a video before my kids come pouring in the house. So I'm gonna do my best to go over willpower today. Willpower. And you know what? I actually hate the word willpower. I prefer the word won't power because to me that makes so much more sense. That's what it really is. It's the things we won't do, right? Um, so instead of focusing on the things that you need this so-called willpower not to do, which, is won't power, why don't we focus on the healthy things that are going to benefit us in the long run? Take the focus off what you shouldn't be doing and put the focus into what you should be. If you're going to call it willpower, focus on the things that you will do that are going to make you a better person. The thing I have learned over the last 3 years that's the most important thing to me is to do the things you least want to do first. And I know that sounds like a really, really crappy thing. I do. I really do. And it took me a really long time to wrap my head around it. But if you do the things you want to do the least first, the things you want to do the most are kind of like presents at the end of the day, rewards. Um, the more you do the things you don't want to do, the more they become habit, and you don't so much focus on not wanting to do them anymore because you just do them. They're part of your routine. Just reading my notes. When I started to drink more water, I had to cut out Coke. Coke was my biggest downfall. I drank a lot of Coca-Cola, and when I mean a lot, I mean starting at noon, I cracked a can all day long, 8 to 10 cans every single day. That's more sugar than people should be getting in a month. I was having that every day. And I hated, past tense, I hated drinking water. Like, a glass of water to me was just like, oh, no, can't do it. I would do anything else but not drink a glass of water. I made myself a rule. In the group I was in at the time, our challenge was to drink. There was a water rule to take your weight, divide it by 2, and then divide it up. I'll post it for you. I still have it on my computer, but it came down to me needing 80 ounces. Does that sound right? 80 to 100 ounces, I believe, of water a day. And for me, that meant 8 huge 10-ounce glasses of water. And what I did, because I was drinking that much Coke. So I made it a rule for me every time I wanted a can of Coke, I had to drink a 10-ounce glass of water before I could have that Coke. Well, if you drink 10 ounces of water, you are no longer thirsty. So once I drank that 10 ounces of water, I no longer wanted the Coke. And little bit by little bit, like I'm talking, from week 1 to maybe week 6, I got to a point where I was having maybe 1 can of Coke at night, but I was filling my day with water. And that Coke was like a huge present. Well, now I don't even drink Coke at all. I can't even stand it. If I have a treat, I drink Perrier. That's my treat, which is technically just water with bubbles in it. So like I'm saying, do something you don't want to do and reward yourself with the thing that you want it to do. Because chances are if you do the thing you don't want to do first, you're going to not need to do that other thing. If you tell yourself, I really want a bowl of chips, and you make a rule that you have to eat your, the container for the 21-day fix worth of vegetables before you can have your chips. Obviously chips aren't going to be on our menu, but if you force yourself to eat a huge container of vegetables first, maybe you won't need those chips after. And that's a positive example of willpower. That's something you will do to strike out the won't. Okay? Let me see what else I have written down here so I don't miss anything. If any of you are already kind of dreading the 21-day fix and you're thinking like you've done your research and you've looked it up and you've looked at the containers and you're thinking, oh, like, can I do this? Like, that doesn't look like a lot of food. Well, first of all, it actually is a lot of food. I've done the research, and for my weight and height, I'm allowed to have 1,400 calories a day, and that's a lot. That's a lot of food. So I'm not really worried about starving at all. Yeah, we're gonna have to limit our treats, but I think as a group we can get really creative on that. And like I said, with our willpower, we're gonna work on that, and you're gonna see how doing things over and over again, it becomes part of your routine. The reason why it's called the 21-day fix is because 21 is the magic number. It takes 21 days to master a habit. It's very common. If you ever have had to quit smoking, you'll hear this. It takes 21 cigarettes to get hooked. And that's why there's 24 in a pack, I think. 25. I forget how many there are in a pack. But 21 is like a magic number. And you don't just do this for 21 days. I know people who started in February, and they swear by it. They live by it. That's the only way they can get what they want out of their lifestyle. So that's what the 21 stands for. Just some final notes. Like, if you are at kind of like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into, and you're kind of dreading this at this point, why? Ask yourself why. You're not really giving anything up. You're gaining so much in return. Don't focus on what you have to give up. Focus on what you're going to gain. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to have courage that you didn't know you had. Today, I have way more courage than I used to have. And it's just because I got healthier inside and out. Obviously, your health. Obviously, that's a huge gain. Happiness. Like, you're going to be so much happier about your life when you master the things that you thought you couldn't do. And better skin. I don't know why I wrote that down. It doesn't even fit in, but your skin will clear up if that's an issue for you. Everything is going to change. And it's coming your way. So don't dread doing this. Be excited. You should be like, yes, I'm going into this. I can't wait to do this. I'm going to be feeling great. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to have more confidence. I'm going to feel awesome. You should be so excited. I wish I could fast forward you and show you who you're going to become. Because if you could see that person, you would be so excited. If somebody had shown me 3 years ago that I would be here in the shape I'm in now, I would have been ecstatic. I would have been racing for the start line. I had no idea I could do this, and I'm not done. And I'm still excited. I'm excited to do this 21-day fix with you guys. And like I said, when it comes to willpower, do the things you want to do least first. If you don't want to go to bed early, go to bed early. If you don't like getting up early, get up early. Do those things first, and then reward yourself. If it's, if it's a bag of chips, that's not a good reward. But what I'm saying is, like, when I had to get rid of Coke, I drank my water. I didn't want Coke anymore. If you don't want to eat that donut, eat a big container of vegetables first, and then you're full. You don't need those chips anymore. You've filled yourself up with healthy stuff. You have to get used to doing things you don't want to do. That's basically what willpower is doing the things you don't want to do. And as hard as it sounds now, it will get easier, and you will get stronger. Your skin will get thicker, and you will thank yourself for putting in the effort.